Welcome back to CityLine. With me, I have an opportunity to talk with an individual from Workforce Central, and she is here to talk about a new training that is being offered. And let's just get into it. Please join me in welcoming Annika Trabucco. You are the Workplace Training Manager for Workforce Central. Welcome to CityLine.
Thank you so much for having me.
My dear, tell us about, before we get into this new opportunity, or perhaps an opportunity that's been there that we didn't know about, what your background is with Workforce Central, because we love Workforce Central. We have a lot of the wonderful people who work there on our show. So tell us about your role.
So my role is actually in helping establish some of these cohort trainings that are specific to industry demand jobs in the area. And so I've been with Workforce Central for a couple of years. And prior to that, I have been in workforce development in a variety of ways, mainly connected to the military, as my husband has retired from the Army. We settled here, and I got connected to Workforce Central.
I love that.
It's a great place to be.
Sounds like a match made in heaven, my dear. So, all right, let's get to it. What is IHAP?
IHAP is the Introduction to Healthcare Education and Apprenticeship Program.
All right, and so how was IHAP developed?
This was actually developed in a partnership with several different entities, including the City of Tacoma, the Tacoma Housing Authority, and Workforce Central. And this is really in direct support of Mayor Woodard's Institute on Job Creation and Economic Opportunity to Improving Health and Equity. So that's a very long title, but it really is aimed at helping connect people that have barriers to employment with opportunities that help train in connection to the employment opportunities available in Pierce County.
Okay, wow, okay. So when we look at IHOP, is IHOP a CNA, or what is a CNA?
So a CNA is actually a certified nursing assistant, and this is somebody who has direct care for a patient. And this could be a variety of different tasks. It could be personal care, it could be in monitoring and taking vital signs, and also could be administering medications. So it's that person who's working directly with a patient in need of some healthcare assistance.
So go ahead, I interrupted you, go right ahead.
The other piece that's very interesting with the CNA positions is there's a wide variety of schedules. And so it really opens the door for a lot of different folks that may have non-traditional schedules. So this could be full-time, could be part-time. This could be something where the shift is during the day, at night, a swing shift. It could be working for a few days in the week. It could be working 5 days a week. A wide variety of things there. And also just the place of work is also different because it could be in a hospital or urgent care facility. It could be in an assisted living facility, or it could be in a patient's home.
So to make the connection, IHAP, once you take that course, you come out with a CNA certification. That's the connection we're making there.
Yeah, so the testing actually is done at the state level. So every state does have their own certification. And so this training is really in helping to prepare somebody to take that training.
Ah, that makes sense. So what is the cost to those taking this training?
So there is actually no fee associated with this training. What we're asking for is a person's time, their focus, and their willingness to learn. Really connecting with the folks that are wanting to get into healthcare. And so this is really a first step for that.
Boy, that is amazing. So, in addition to this being a training that's not going to cost anything in terms of money, what makes this training, let's say, different from other trainings that I could take someplace else?
So, like we mentioned, it does have the CNA certification test. It has some basic understandings and expectations of what happens in the healthcare field. But the other piece that we're connecting with this, and we work directly with the Workforce Central Business Solutions team, is assisting them with getting connected to businesses that are hiring. Because that's an important additional step, is not only in providing the training, but making that connection to a business, as well as there is the potential for continued tuition assistance in the medical field for additional certifications, degrees, or things that lead towards job advancement, because this really is in helping create a career pathway, not just a specific job hire. We're really trying to help somebody develop their entire career.
It sounds like, especially when you're looking at those next steps of sustainability, it is certainly one thing to take a course and to walk away with some skills. It's quite another thing to take a course and then to also, in addition to the technical information, have people who are wanting to remove barriers for the next step of that job. And it sounds like that's what Workforce Central is doing with this training.
Absolutely. And this training is really a collaboration with multiple community organizations as well. So we actually have the Healthcare Apprenticeship Consortium, Seattle Jobs Initiative, the Clover Park Technical College, and our WorkSource Center partners all involved in this training, because it really is in not only helping somebody learn about it, get the training, but it's getting that connection and that continued advancement in their career. It really is important to help figure out what does that career pathway look like. So one of the things that's very interesting, and it was eye-opening to me because my background is not in healthcare, but being a CNA, you can go in and you can see what is out there in the healthcare field, because like some of the things that I learned, I had never even thought about before. So being a CNA can kind of open that door to see, being a medical assistant or being office administration, could be social work, human services, lab technician, physical therapy. And one that I really truly didn't think about was food and nutrition. While do I need to have a CNA to get into food and nutrition? Not necessarily. However, it gives me that background of the medical field of healthcare, and really helps show all the different ways of connection in this.
Absolutely. So in these last few minutes, let's get down to some what I would call the nitty-gritty details here.
Okay.
So who can take part in this training, number one, and then when does the training begin?
So this training is specifically set up for residents of the city of Tacoma who are eligible in WIOA. And WIOA is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which provides federal funding and guidelines in support of employment and training opportunities. So as you had mentioned before, it's really reaching out to folks who may have some barriers when it comes to employment. And some of the examples for this might be a dislocated worker, somebody that's coming into the area. It could be a service member transitioning out of the military, somebody who's been on, or who has had long-term unemployment, or possibly been utilizing some of the unemployment benefits. And we know that that's a lot of people in the last couple of years. We've had a very unique time in the last few years with us. And then the training itself begins on the 25th of April. This is something that is both virtual and in person. There are certain pieces that do have to be done in person. And If somebody isn't able to be a part of the April cohort, we do have a second one that will be starting in August as well.
Wonderful. Now, the other last question I have for you is, you mentioned businesses, because that's part of that second piece of the training is, let's talk about a career ladder here. So how can a business be a part of this?
That's a great question, because a business can be part of this in getting connected to our business team and having some open job opportunities that connect to this training. This is also a way for businesses to help their own employees who may be looking at shifting what positions they're in kind of reskilling and upskilling their opportunities. So it isn't just necessarily for having a new employee, but also having their current employees learn some new skills.
Wonderful. And we've been showing the website below your beautiful face there this whole time, Annika. I want to say thank you so much for all that you've done for our community, for this opportunity, and of course, for really removing barriers and offering a chance for people to look at healthcare in a different way. So thank you so very much, my dear, and hope to have you back on the show real soon.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're more than welcome. We have much more to come on CityLine. Don't go away. We'll be right back.